Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion Plays the Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus and never loses a game ever again. And if we didn't lose the last one, my god, I think I might actually be starting to believe it. Okay, we're Princess Leia. Yeft Baby. That's our seed. Y-E-F-D-B-A-D-Y. Speed's good. I would say great. Rate of fire, beyond great. It's half decent. Damage, not so good. HP, more than adequate. What's our bonus item? Well, I mean, mysterious liquid. Lord, I got that greeny goo. Okay, I'll stop. I'm not gonna stop, but I'll stop for now. Whatever makes you happy. It's like Sheryl Crow said, if it makes you happy, it can't be that bad. What if they remade Mystery Science Theater 3000, and I know there's the new episodes, but just bear with me for the purposes of the joke. But instead of Crow the robot, they had Sheryl Crow be Crow, but never mention it. And then instead of Tom Servo, it was Tom Green. This is like a mouth bit right here. Dude, if you're into Mystery Science Theater 3000, and I haven't seen every episode of the original run, I'll give you that. So if my nerd cred is gone as a result of that, so be it. But I've probably seen, 70 to 100 episodes would be my guess. So the bulk of it, probably. I watched Mystery Science Theater 3000 The Return, MST3K The Return. I thought it was very in keeping with the spirit of the original. I had a good time, and I was happy to see that it is getting brought back for like another season. You never know with stuff like this, especially when not all of the original, in front of the camera talent is around for it. But I thought they did a good job with it, and I'm happy to see him get another chance. But anyway, after that administrative note, we can get back to the fart jokes here. You are dead. And you have given me a snack, or at least it looks like a snack. That last run really took it out of me. I'm lucky, I had a break. I was streaming, I was streaming, I should say, some Detroit, the new David Cage game from Quantic Dream. I always feel weird calling it a David Cage game. It feels easier to call it a David Cage game when you're hating on it, because then all of the problems go on one guy instead of an organization. But I've actually been liking the game quite decently. So now when I say it's a David Cage game, I don't want to give him all the credit. I'm like, a lot of talented people worked on that game, okay? Endless, nameless. I don't know. I think I'd rather have Matchstick for now. And now I can come back with a fresh head and record a little bit more Isaac, having purged the last game from my memory somewhat, but yet keeping the lesson and the tale that we learned, the moral of the story. What was the moral of the story on that last episode? Geez, I don't know. I guess it's, if you're gonna call me on my speech here, it's, never forget. There is no momentum in Isaac necessarily. No literal momentum, at least. You can get two really good items that, in most circumstances, would give you a great chance for success, in the form of Magic Mush and Rotten Baby in that last episode, and you can still find yourself in a real pickle as the game goes on, so you're never guaranteed anything. That's the lesson. If we're gonna tie a little bow on it, that's our lesson. Hey, Monstro, get off of my goo. Hey, there you go. It's, hey, you get off of my cloud, but with Monstro and Mysterious Liquid. Hey, Monstro, get onto my goo. I don't know any other lyrics in the song. Okay. Usually, we should. Might as well just suck it up. The worst case scenario coming out of this would be a 6-room charge on blank card, which is still extremely great. For now, our damage has come up. I'm surprised it only came up 1 point, but combine that with the fact that our rate of fire increased, and I'm walking into enemies on the regular, and you can see why I'm still not necessarily 100% convinced. Just kidding. It's a long day. It's a long day of recording, I should say. And you know what? I gotta admit, as I've settled into many routines. Ooh, that's extremely great. Over the years, when it comes to YouTube. There's been a lot of I was gonna say variety, but I guess I'm gonna say variability because, you know, I have played a lot of Isaac. The one constant has been the NLSS, at least for the past 4 years or so. 5 years, I guess. Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. It's really weird to think that, you know, sometimes people ask, why is the show Monday, Wednesday, Thursday? Why not just, like, 3 consecutive days? Or Monday, Wednesday, Friday is another common one. Or even Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you know, catch all the weekend days or something like that. And the real answer is because when I started streaming, my most open days were Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So literally the decision... My God, this damage, dude. The decision-making process took all of about 5 minutes. I was like, I'm going to start streaming. What should my tentative schedule be? How about a little Monday, Wednesday, Thursday? That seems appropriate. And the rest is history. And it's the same now, like... Well, you blank card Joker. This is awesome, now that I think about it. Like, I have a routine. I can basically go down the list for you. I have a few different games that I'm running series on at the present moment. You know, a couple Isaacs a day, at least for now, while the mood is hot. And, well, let's go to the devil room here first. Devil. Just very wary about accidentally stepping on the spikes there. But, so, like, Isaac, Slay the Spire, Wizard of Legend... Dead Cells is in kind of limbo as I've become busier and busier, but it's my intention to bring it back, and I mean that earnestly right now. Battery charge sucking up mom's bra? Not necessarily bad. You know what? We're better off having Judas's tongue. It's a rare situation, but I definitely agree with it here nonetheless. I might be missing some. Fortnite as well. So, like, Isaac's... Well, let's just go down the list. You know, literally I'm going to give you my rundown of days of the week. For right now. It changes based on class schedule and stuff like that. But, like, Monday, wake up. That's basically pre-NLSS is the prime time to record maybe a few Isaac episodes, knock out a Wizard of Legend. The day before is Slay the Spire Daily if I didn't play it, although I do usually play it on Sundays because I just have the stream before it. Tuesdays... Wake up, be nice to sneak in a little bike ride early. Trying to make sure I don't die of heart failure in my 30s. 1 to 4 p.m. stream, 4 to like 9 p.m. record some Fortnite. Good to go. We should go suck up mom's bra. But is mom's bra even worth sucking up? I know I said yes, but is it really that valuable? Wednesday, pretty similar to Monday. Thursdays are extremely busy. Usually sneak in a bike ride, record a video, NLSS, immediately afterwards, Kate stream, immediately after that, a few videos. Friday, videos, roundtable, and then get the heck out of the office for like a couple hours. Spend some time in my home with my wife. And my cats, who represent the rest of my family. Very foolishly, I'm gonna get this. Saturday's class, come back. Bike ride, lots of videos. Kate stream, maybe 1 or 2 more videos. Then administrative stuff, groceries, chores, etc., etc. Sunday's the regular subscriber stream, and then you're back around to Monday. The occasional day off thrown in the middle. We would definitely rather have this. It might seem like, you know, you're running the math, no days off. You'd be right. But that's, I find it disingenuous, you know, sometimes when YouTubers complain about how much work they do. I never, and the other thing is, I think people largely don't care. But, you know, when other YouTubers complain about how much work they do, it's important, I guess, to contextualize how it comes across. None of the work that I'm doing, I have to do. I could just stop uploading YouTube videos. I feel compelled to do as much work as I do, and I'm, you know, compensated for it fairly. It's not like anyone's holding the gun to my head, you know, my kids aren't gonna get fed if I don't make 7 videos a day, you know. I'm making the sacrifice of my own time, doing a job that I enjoy, in order to work my butt off, you know, while I'm able to do so, and I'm happy about it. But, yeah, it's probably a little bit too much. Oh, well. I don't know, this got too real right off the bat. This wasn't my intention with this. It's just interesting, like, every day for me has its own flavor now, even if they sounded a little similar to you. Mondays are like, okay, get back into the swing of things with an NLSS. We don't need to use prayer card. I think we'd rather just head down to the next floor with the charge and leave Mom's bra. Hey, streamer, leave Mom's bra behind. All in all, you're just another run in the streak. Hey, I was thinking about buying a Spirit Heart, but honestly, I don't think we're gonna need it. We have found ourselves getting a little close to the grindstone here, though. I'll admit that to you. Tuesdays are nice for me because I get a little free time in the morning, and, you know, the Tuesday stream is always optional. I'd say like 80% of the time these days we end up doing it, but not every Tuesday. Give me Maw the Void here, but it's a tough decision because I also think Gimpy is awesome. Actually, I guess it wouldn't be the worst idea for us to roll. Wow. Okay, see you later. For us to have rolled like the nail there and then sucked it up, and then we would have paid a hefty price early, but it would have paid for itself in a few charges. We'd still like to get it. We'd like to get Gimpy as well if possible. And then I love recording Fortnite with the guys. That's like my version of like a poker night for now. So even though those videos are tanking right now and everyone's like, please stop playing Fortnite, my little brother won't shut up about it. I'm like, dude, this is like us recording, just the boys hanging out. You wouldn't understand, it's a guy thing. Wednesday NLSS, always a good time. Thursday's my busy day. Fridays you get a little round table in the middle to break up some monotony, which is cool. And I'm gonna suck this up because I don't think I want it. I'd rather have guaranteed statistical improvement than a risk of getting it down. Mind you, we don't get the benefit of having a chance at spun as a result of this, but we're getting good value out of Void right now, no doubt. And Sundays, I love Sundays. Subscriber Sunday's the best because, you know, Chad is exclusively paying customers, which strangely enough, in like an exact antithesis of the real world, means they're more likely to be nice to you. Very, very rarely does someone come in and be like, I pay your salary. And they would be right. They pay a very, very small chunk of my salary. Individually. If they rise up in, en masse, you know, like, you know, Detroit style, we'd be in trouble. I'm not talking about Detroit the city, I'm talking about Detroit the game. I always want to couch that when I say things about potential real-world events, I want to add a little context, because I don't want people to, oh my god, how did NL know about the uprising that happened in Detroit when he recorded this video in May? I didn't, baby. You just told me. Thank you. And thank you. Been to item room. Haven't been to shop. Gonna see if this is a secret room, but to be honest, I'm kind of like done with this floor. We've gotten so much better. I'm not trying to rush through things necessarily here, but this run is now unkillable. I mean, like, look at our last 8 items. Pact, Little Brim, Infamy, HP, Death's List, Mob the Void, Gimpy, 9 lives. It's an extremely good assortment. And that's even ignoring the fact that we're leaving the nail behind. The only way to get the nail would have been to walk in with a full charge anyway, so. Yeah, this run is, let's make it up for last run, let's put it that way. I think because HP is so easy to come by, we might as well take that. And we could be looking at Bookworm, but, you know, we can always get back there later if we so desire. Or as you two would say, as we so desire. I know there's a lot of U2 dissent out there. I'm not going to bat for Elevation. I'm not going to bat for Hello, Hello, my place called Vertigo. I'm going to bat for Pride in the Name of Love and the entirety of the Joshua Tree and maybe a little bit of Octung Baby, okay? Everything else, you know, like post-1995 U2, no thank you. There was a golden era that I think people ignore. It's not like I'm sitting around staring at my U2 albums. Early morning, April 4th, shot rings out in the Memphis sky. You know, I just think it's a banger, and I really, when a banger is underappreciated, that's just like the saddest thing that ever happens. So, what was our other item in there? It was Book of Belial, which we don't need to take, but we have, I mean, to put it succinctly, we have infinite HP, so we won't be sucking up Book of Belial, but we'll be paying 1 HP to inch towards Bookworm. And if we get a deal with the devil, which is actually reasonably likely, we could go in with the charge, suck up the book, and be good to go. So we're really kind of like hurtling, lilting towards 40 wins in a row here. I think we're on 30, 35, 34, something like that. Nothing to sneeze at. Any run could end it, so I try to avoid ascribing significance to runs where it's not necessarily, you know, none exists, basically. But not all of them are created equal. In all likelihood, without trying to, like, not worth it at all. Like, it's one of those items I'd rather not suck up. In all likelihood, you know, if we're talking within the context of our 30 to 40 wins, let's not get too cocky, but it could happen. The run we just had is very likely to be the toughest that we will have in that narrow range. I hope that that proves to be correct, although by bringing it up, I've certainly, you know, tempted fate into making me look like a fool, I will admit. But for now, I don't look like a fool. I look like a man, baby. Freaky man, baby. Okay. I mean, we could always blank card something else, but we don't need to. Like, we have... When I said infinite HP, I didn't just mean, like, Mob the Void, prayer card, blank card, you know, with whatever our card would be. But I also mean the fact that we have 9 lives. So... we have a staggering amount of HP. We also have Gimpy. I totally forgot about that. So our means of regenerating HP are just outrageous. We might as well take this. And, yeah, you know, here's the thing. I don't think we're going to use it like that. Because we're using it for teleporting right now. I'd rather just teleport immediately and get whatever the advantage is here right off the bat. Or fight Krampus if that's what the game decides. So we did get Bookworm. It's probably one of the most expensive bookworms I've ever gotten in my entire life, but it's totally worth it, you know? It's like, you know, MTV used to have this awful, awful show back, I know you're going to say that this era has never ended, but when I was a teenager, there was an era where it really seemed like the way to get ahead in life was just to be a self-unaware rich piece of garbage. Yes, I'm talking about the Simple Life era, but there was a show called, like, you know, My Super Sweet 16, and it was always about these daughters of extremely, just obscenely wealthy people. Why not go? There's a good reason. Because we can't get out once we get in, even with the teleporter. They would always do this ridiculous stuff like, we rented out a whole Vegas casino for my 16th birthday party. And you'd be like, how much money was that? And they're like, it's $7 million for 8 hours. And then you're like, that's a waste of money. But it isn't. I mean, between you and me, obviously it is. But if you got a net worth, you know, with 15 commas in it, and this is North America where we don't use commas to denote the decimal place on a price, maybe it's worth it to the father and the mother to make their daughter happy. Obviously, just presenting like a terrible, terrible example for this child. Rife for affluenza. But they're also a teenager. They're innocent in the situation. Sort of. I mean, when they are mean to their friends, they're not innocent. But in the court of adult opinion, they're relatively judgment-free. You know, if you see a 16-year-old, it's pretty unlikely that by the age of 18 they're going to change their personality that much. But when you see a 16-year-old, as an adult, if they're acting like a jerk, you gotta be like, man, that kid's acting like a jerk. You can't say that they're a jerk for another 2 years. You gotta just be like, you gotta couch it in the possibility that they're gonna, you know, have a come to Jesus moment and all of a sudden be a good person, even though deep down, you know, you probably think that that's not likely to come to pass. That's what being an adult is about. It's about not judging piece of crap kids because they haven't yet aged into the system. There may yet be a chance for them. So, I'm gonna go fight this boss. I'm gonna go look at Boss Rush. If Boss Rush has anything even mildly decent, I'm gonna take it. Because we can teleport out. Well, I mean, at this point, we could teleport out using the Joker card, and that would probably be better because we'd have less backtracking, but that's my opinion on it, at least. And if you, by the way, if you disagree with me, if you're saying, oh, you can judge a 16-year-old for being a jerk, that's fine. This is like 10th grade English class. There's no right or wrong answers. You just got to show your work. Then I would ask, at what age is it not okay? We don't want any of this, honestly. I'll suck these up for stats, and then I'll get out. I think you would agree, if you see a 3-year-old and they go, I want my bottle. I don't know why they said it like bad baby, but you wouldn't be like, wow, that person's they're being a real jerk. You'd be like, ah, they're just a kid, you know? If somebody was like, I hate that kid, you'd be like, oh, dude, you're being a real piece of garbage yourself. You're judging that small child. Is there an age where it's okay? Is there an age where they turn 13 and all of a sudden you're like, I can't judge them? Because I'm going to be honest, I judge people of all ages when I'm out in public. This is not a joke. Kate and I, we went to a concert. Not like a rock concert. It was like a classical music performance by some of her former classmates. And we were walking around downtown Vancouver. Not that sketchy. This part, at least. And she got catcalled by like an 8-year-old child. Not messing with you at all. There was an 8-year-old kid. He was sitting on a bench, like at a bus stop, by himself. I don't know how it happens. It wasn't a small adult. I promise you, it was like an 8-year-old kid. He was wearing like some kind of Paw Patrol backpack or something like that. And when Kay walked by, he went... It puts me in a very difficult position. Because I obviously can't be the guy in public who's going like, yo, what'd you just do? You got a problem, man? Like, you can't verbally, or God forbid, physically reprimand an 8-year-old. That makes me the loser in this situation by an enormous degree. But am I just supposed to let it go? Like, you know the classic internet meme, you know, this guy comes up in the club and grabs your girl's butt, what do you do? What if it was a real question? And it was, you know, you're in the club and this guy grabs your girl's butt, what do you do? But it's like a child. Joker. I basically just laughed, to be honest with you. And, you know, luckily Kate had a sense of humor about it as well. She's like, I could just whistle at me. And you never know. We might have been misinterpreting the situation, but we both had the same belief about it, you know, when I was walking by, for sure. Okay, reroll all consumables, please. Good runes. Lord, I want some goody runes. All I do is shoot and cry. No, it's 2 Degas. No, thank you. I guess we could have kept 1 instead of the Hermit, but we don't need it. Like, we're completely set. That's a real moral question. What do you do if your girlfriend or your wife gets catcalled by a child? I think the idea is you have to laugh. Well, there's no other approach you can take to that situation. It's just a comical situation. What do you got for me? 2 of hearts. But anyway, that kid's a jerk. I can't wait until he's 18 so I can beat him up for the things he did 10 years ago. And I'm going to be jacked by then. So I have a very optimistic view of the future. Every time I think about what the future is going to be like 10 years from now, it's always way more optimistic than what actually ends up happening. Like 10 years ago, I was in my 2nd year of university. What would I have thought that life was like as a 29-year-old? Jacked, obviously. We've already covered that part, though. Big wig office job. Probably invented some kind of sick vacuum cleaner attachment and made $100 million. That was like my belief. Instead, Down here in the Isaac mines, recording content. Could have been an accountant. Instead, I'm out here trying to crack jokes about a situation that actually did happen, even though a lot of people are going to be skeptical for sure. Like, you could ask me if I'm 70. Hey, what do you think, like, you know, life's going to be like when you're 80? Step one, I'm going to be jacked. I'm going to finally get the diet and the exercise to work together. I'm going to have the discipline in the elbow grease to lead us to abs. Abs are made in the kitchen. Shut up! I don't want to hear your truths. They're painful. I just want to ride my bike 2 hours a day, eat pizza, and get a six-pack. Is that so much to ask? Apparently, thermodynamically, yes. So fair enough, fair enough. You know what? You can't always get what you wanted. How about this? It's a callback. Hey! You get off of those carbs. I don't know, why was the singing voice so much worse than the first time? It's not like the first one was good, but hey, you get off of those carbs. I have no idea where our HP stands. It doesn't matter. I think I'm hitting a pretty nihilistic point on these Isaac runs, but like it actually could not be less relevant. Nothing in this game can touch us. We're untouchable. Well, we could die on delirium. But luckily, I've done a pretty good job of staying away from dying on delirium by exercising my right to never be on delirium. Hello, Tomo. You would like to leave. Alright. It's like he has routines in his day, too. You know, he comes in, lays down on the DX racer that's derelict. Then he goes, just jumping out for some quick lunch, don't mind me. Be back in the office in an hour. Nah, he'll probably be back in like 5 minutes, dude. Utero 2. That was dumb. I think we're still happy with Judas's tongue. Like, this is one of the rare times I'm enjoying the luxury of being able to use Judas's tongue productively, and I do understand that it's a little bit of a double entendre, perhaps, and I'd appreciate you not taking it out of context because I got an image to maintain. How many people, how many adults in the United States right now do you think are named Judas? I'm gonna hit you with my estimate. 10,000. Not a lot of people, but not 0 people either. You know, that's like 200 people per state. I think that I would... This is Card Sharks. Give me a higher or lower, depending on how you feel about it. I don't think there's anything wrong with being named Judas, but I would look differently at a parent who named their child Judas. You know why? It's a selfish name. I'm not saying it's a good name. I'm not saying it's a bad name, but it's definitely a selfish name. It's a name that is a name for the parents as opposed to being a name for the child. And when it comes to being a name for the parents, there are selfish good names. Like, for example, oh, we named you after, like, our childhood friend who died, but he was, like, a really good dude. So, yeah, you're named whatever now. I'm not gonna fight Hush. Or, you know, we named you after your grandfather who you never got to meet. That's good. Selfish, but good. And then there's bad selfish names, like... I think Judas is probably one of those. Because I agree. If I met someone named Judas, I'm probably going to crack the same jokes as anybody else, but I'm not going to judge them outright. I'm not going to be like, oh, what an evil portent. You know, it's the same people who are like, why is it that every Jennifer is so preppy? And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. That's like name racist. You're like, oh, I hate Gregs. Gregs are always jerks. You can't say that. You shouldn't say that, at least. Probably many, many nice Gregs out there. What about, well, you know what? You got me. Clark Greg? Well, really surprised we didn't even come close to a Guppy transformation. Well, we still have one deal with the devil, I guess. Oh, I told you you'd be back in 5 minutes. Hello, Tomo. Welcome back. He's in the chair already. You gonna meow? He's got a meow in him. Tomo! Come. I told you. Tomo. 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 Oh, he gave me a weird one. Ah. Tomo. Did you eat or poop? Both? I don't know whether you're empty or full then. Go ahead, hit me so that it hits you. Hitting me, yes, hitting you. I believe it's a one run. Just listen to the synergies abound. Okay, that's just not even close. I'm treading like very gently in this, not genitally. Gently, you know, like rowing your boat down the stream. On this name debate, because I don't want to ruffle any feathers. Many of you have probably named children that you know of, or, you know, you were named yourselves something a little selfish or goofy, and again, that's fine. I would never judge a person just based on their name. I think that's idiotic. But I think it's, you know, your obligation as a parent, if you can give your name, if you can give your child a name that has some meaning without setting them back or putting them at a disadvantage, more power to you. I always get annoyed when I see like these celebrities name their kids like, you know, Potato, Rutabaga. Let's Rutabaga Paltrow. You can only do that because you're already a celebrity. If it was a poor person and they named their kid Rutabaga, people would be like, are you out of your mind? They're gonna be like bullied for the rest of their middle school days for having the same name as a root vegetable because it's like Gwyneth Paltrow's kid. They're like, Rutabaga, wow, what an interesting name. Just give it, what's wrong with like James? You know what's wrong with Kate? That's a common one. What's wrong with Vanessa? Oh, it's boring. Who cares? That's what it's there for. It's not like Rutabaga is not any less boring of a name. It's just less common. It could easily name your kid Wargleflarp. Wow, that's so unusual. Yeah, exactly. I know you want to say it's stupid. That's because it is. You can say it. Really, in general, names are stupid. You know, we should just be giving ourselves a unique ID code based on our genetic genome. Then we could identify ourselves out in public with like a hexadecimal string or something like that. Little harder to remember, though. And if you said, oh, that would be so hard to remember, perfect. Stop naming your kids stuff that requires us to add things to the dictionary then. And don't tell me the story about my mom used to be a teacher and she had a kid in her class whose name was L.A. and then a hyphen and it was Ladasha, okay? There's no way there's that many Ladashas out there. I've heard this story from like 100 different people. It's not the same Ladasha. It's made up. It's a made up story. I don't know what agenda it's pushing yet, but I plan to find out, okay? I'm not... Look, I have to take a stand. I'm not going to the void just to possibly get killed to do a fight I don't even like. For now, thanks for watching. We made it through another run unscathed. With Tomo, buddy. Hello. Hello, Tomo. If you enjoyed it, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching. I will see you next time.